Santorio was an Italian physiologist quite renowned for his experiments on weight of people. In the late 1500s, he started self-experimenting by weighing himself before and after eating food. He found that his weight increased by amount of food he consumed, which came to original after some time. This sparked the studies on animal nutrition. Later, in the 1700s, Antoine Lavoisier showed that oxygen absorbed and carbon dioxide given off is dependent on the food intake and work done. He later came to be known as the father of nutrition science. Since then, we have come a long way in the field of animal nutritional sciences. Hello and welcome to Notebook. Today we shall start a new video lesson from your syllabus. We shall discuss about nutrition in animals. The concept of nutrition has already been discussed in the chapter Nutrition in Plants. But before we move into the details of this chapter, let us revise our understanding of the concepts of nutrition and the different modes once again, which will be the first part of our video lesson on this chapter. As we have learned, all living things show different life processes. Let us list them here. The first thing that tops the chart is nutrition, followed by respiration, transportation, reproduction, excretion, digestion, growth, etc. Nutrition, as we already know, is a technique by which living organisms acquire food for their growth and development. To understand it simply, let us put it this way. If you are doing any sort of physical activities, such as running, playing cricket or swimming, after a certain time, you start feeling tired. Even when you are studying, you tend to feel tired after some time, since our brain is in constant activity. This means that the energy that was reserved is getting depleted, and we would need additional nutrition in terms of nutrients to replenish it. But the common question arises is, what are nutrients? Nutrients are basically substances that provide nourishment, which is needed for growth and maintenance of life. Now, here is an interesting piece of information. What will happen if you only eat junk food and nothing else? I'm sure it will be a wonderful thing even to imagine. But only junk food, though satisfies your hunger, will not give you all the nourishment that is needed by your body and will eventually lead to an unhealthy state. Thus, a healthy balanced diet is needed. All living beings derive nutrition by two methods, or we call them modes. 1. Autotrophic mode. 2. Heterotrophic mode. In the word autotrophic, auto stands for self, and it simply means that the plant is capable of producing its own food by the process of photosynthesis. Similarly, hetero stands for others, and heterotrophic mode of nutrition are the method of deriving nutrition from other sources. Although some plants are heterotrophs, all animals, including we humans, show heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So, we will only focus on this mode in our further video lessons. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition is of three types: saprophytic, depending on dead and decaying organisms; parasitic, depending on living hosts; and holozoic, depending on solid food. Most of us might have heard the term holozoic, but how many of us actually know what it means? Holozoic animals are those animals that consume complex organic matter as food. Yes, we humans are holozoic too. Holozoic animals are again of three types, depending on the type of food they intake: herbivorous animals, carnivorous animals, omnivorous animals. Herbivorous animals are those that depend on plants for their food, such as the cow or the horse here. Look at the tiger and the lion. These are carnivorous animals that depend on other animals, especially the herbivores, for their food. The third category is where we fall, along with bears, rodents, crows. We are omnivores and can consume both plants and animals. Before we come to the end of this session, let us understand the steps involved in a holozoic nutrition. The first step is ingestion. This is the intake of food in complex form. Digestion follows ingestion and involves the breakdown of the complex food into simpler substances. After digestion, absorption occurs, which is the passage of simpler food into the blood or lymph. The next step is very crucial and is called assimilation, where the absorbed food is utilized for providing energy for various activities. The last and final step is egestion, where undigested food is removed from the body. These 5 steps are very important for understanding this chapter in its entirety, and we shall take this up in details in our successive videos. With that, we conclude our today's discussion. Think about what we learned today, revise the concepts well, and I shall meet you in our next video. Till then, happy learning and goodbye.